All right, first NorCal note of the week. Yosemite National Park announces plan to reopen this week. Really exciting.
We knew this was coming, and they just announced it would be June 5th. They said it would be in June, but they are we in phase 3 of California's reopening
I mean,
yet?
not officially, but I feel like unofficially, we're pretty much
Yeah,
there.
so they came out and said they're waiting until phase 3 until they officially reopen. And then they just said, all right, we're going to open on June 5th. Now, it's limited. You have to have had a pre-existing reservation or wilderness permit or half dome hiking permit in order to go into the park. So they're really limiting the opening. I think it's actually a great way to open it up since they had all these reservations. Instead of canceling, let's let people start trickling in instead of just opening the floodgates.
Right.
But this is obviously huge news. Now, they do plan on fully reopening. Well, I quote unquote fully reopening. They're going to try to keep the park at 50% capacity. And they're going to do that by basically an online lottery. So if you already have like a wilderness permit or a half-dome permit or a camping permit, you could come in. But otherwise, if you want to just visit, you need a day use permit, which you apply for online, and then they just randomly choose people. So I don't know how many how many people they're going to get into this lottery system, but I think it said they're allowing 3,600 vehicles per day and about 1,900 that are allowed to stay overnight. That's 50% capacity.
Yeah, I mean, it's and every single day it's going to sell out. It's a lottery, so everyone's going to show up. It's Yosemite National Park is my favorite outdoor destination on the planet, period. We've talked about it a lot. I've camped there probably 4 or 5 times, all with one of my best friends and filmmaker, Alex Gino. We refer to it as Yosemite. It just came up when one of our first trips there. We called it Yosemite. We always have, and we just love it there.
Sounds biblical.
Yeah, it was pretty.
Kind of got that biblical sound to it.
I think we're maybe heavily intoxicated when we came up with it. But yeah, I can't wait to get there. I'm not in the lottery at this point. I didn't have a pre-existing pass, but I can't wait to get there. We've talked about how the hike to Half Dome is what I want to do. I tried it once. I was wearing DC shoes and not hiking boots. I don't recommend doing that. I didn't make it. But yeah, I actually just had a thing pop up in my timeline on Facebook that it was 7 years ago that I was there when I did the DC hike up Half Dome.
We keep talking about how lucky these rangers are that have the entire park to themselves. And now these people, which we're recording this on June 4th, so it literally opens tomorrow. These people who had their pre-existing wilderness permits in basically early March would have been the latest you could have gotten one. So there's probably not going to be a lot of people there. They're going to have this whole place to themselves. I mean, there's 141 campsites just at the Lower Pines and North Pines campground. They're all open. So they're going to see a lot of wildlife. They're going to see, right now is peak waterfall season in Yosemite.
And because there haven't been people there, though, all the wildlife's out. It's such a big park that while you do see people when you're out backpacking, it's not like you're completely surrounded by people. So having a very limited amount of the people that are already fairly limited when you're out there, yeah, it's going to be the people that are going to go are going to get the greatest experience.
It's crazy. So they can typically handle about 18,000 people a day. They can handle more than that, but that's typically like an average day, 18,000 people. So I can't imagine that many people, how many thousands of people have signed up with wilderness permits? 2 maybe? Like this place is going to be empty. So I don't know when they're actually going to open it to the public with the lottery lottery system, but maybe that's when they're going to wait until phase 3 of the reopening. But this is cool. This is the final national park in Northern California to reopen. It's by far the busiest. It's the biggest.
My favorite.
It's great. So we'll continue to follow the story. I just think Yosemite is going to be fantastic this year just because they're limiting it to 50%. Typically, it's super crowded. So even if you think you won't get a permit, just go online, just go to their website and try for it.
Why not?
I think the problem is that they're only announcing it like 2 days beforehand. So you really got to be committed, and then you still might not get it, and you have to open up your plans 2 days in advance.
Well, people are antsy. They've been locked inside,
True.
so I'm sure they're ready and raring to go.
True. So this summer in Yosemite is going to be a historical year.